Those were interesting comments by Professor Mundell. But now let's zoom back to Thailand and take a look at the confidence index just a little bit. When it slumped to the lowest level in more than a decade in November, hurt by the impact of the worst flooding in almost 70 years, an index measuring sentiment declined to 61 from the 62.8 in October, the University of the Thai Chamber of Commerce said in a statement in Bangkok today. That is the lowest level since September 2001, according to the data compiled by Bloomberg. And now on the similar trend, the securities companies have forecast earnings of the Thai stock market to experience weaker growth in 2012 due to the global uncertainties. Pattara Securities in its report this week estimates the earnings per share growth of the Thai market at 6% in 2012 compared to the 21% this year. It also sets the SET index target at 1,140 in 2012. Pattara Securities said it also expects a wide trading range to continue as global uncertainties should remain abnormally high. Pattara Securities forecasts as much a wider divergence of sector growth. Within the major sectors, retailing is viewed as the best, while the growth of bank and energy stocks should slow to 6%. In 2012, public sector spending will hold the key to economic growth. The securities said it expects domestic growth to slow materially due to lower farm prices, slightly higher unemployment, and flood impacts. With the expected global slowdown, public spending should play a key role for 2012. However, the government's execution on public spending has lately been mediocre. Chotika Sawananont, Managing Director of SCB Asset Management, said bourses worldwide will continue to grow next year. She said the Thai shares market is expected record earnings growth of 15%. The U.S. economy is expected to slightly recover next year, supporting growth. The U.S. stock market has already risen on signs of recovery next year, but the Eurozone market should remain volatile. Asia, led by China, remains the most attractive investment locale, she said. She said fixed income funds would likely provide negative returns compared to inflation next year, as the interest rate is expected to be cut by another 25 to 50 basis points. As a result, the debt market will likely be inactive, while commodities such as gold will remain active, she added. Chotika suggests investors to diversify their portfolio by investing 5 to 20% in global equities, deepening on risk tolerance. And now let's check up on the stock climate with Kun Pattira Dilok Rung Tirapop, the chairwoman of Association of Thai Securities Companies. Kun Pattira, what do you expect to be the stock market's earning growth for this coming next year, and what do you think would be the index target?
Okay, I think the impact will be mostly felt in the fourth quarter of this year, and that's when the listed company will report quite weak earnings.
Okay.
But I think the recovery will start in the first quarter of next year, and that's, I think, is the good news. From our survey with the listed company, majority thinks that they can resume their operation in January. So that's, I think, will start the supply chain going and will help, especially the middle-sized company factories start production again.
All right.
For this case, we think the overall earning for the Thai listed securities company will be about 13%. But partly it's helped by the tax reduction if that will be implemented in 2012. The government plans to reduce the tax rate from 30 to 23%. But if we take that away, I think the earning growth will be more or less the same as this year. All right. Which is not too bad.
Okay. And which sector would likely be most benefited from the government's reconstruction plans?
Yeah, obviously the building construction and building materials, and that will be the things that will happen very rigorously throughout, especially the first half of next year. But apart from that, I think other sector like consumer, food will continue to do well, and then followed by the telecom sector. So I think these are the key sector and still offer attractive in terms of valuation and earnings.
Okay, so our export would be slightly hurt by the Eurozone debt crisis. And also we talked to the Tourism Authority of Thailand yesterday, and they kind of said that the tourists from Europe would slightly drop. So how does that impact our stocks?
Yeah, definitely it will be impacted. However, for the service sector, the proportion of in terms of market cap is not substantial. So overall, we will not feel the impact as much in terms of earning.
Okay.
Okay, but other company like the export sector will also impact, but still it's reflected our earning forecast of about 6% next year. As I mentioned earlier, if we take away the tax benefit. So the earning is not that strong really, but it's not that bad.
Okay. So how do you suggest investors diversify their portfolios?
Well, of course, next year we'll be starting to allow investors to invest overseas. So one choice is maybe to diversify to other markets, especially in other ASEAN markets.
Just ASEAN or overall in Asia?
I think it's easier to be in ASEAN because we understand them a little bit better than further away. But some investors also like U.S. market, depend on how well you know the other market. But usually I think because we are neighbor, you're likely to know your neighbor better. But otherwise, apart from the asset allocation point of view, I think the suggestion would be also to reduce the weighting in the equity, which I think a lot of people has already reduced the exposure into other safe assets, such as money market fund, bonds, etc.
Okay. So one more question. We have heard about the news that China might be diversifying their stocks listed in Wall Street to Hong Kong. Do you think Hong Kong is also a good destination for investment?
It's already attract a lot of companies from China actually, and because of the same language and closer together, I think that's of course the first choice, and I think that's likely to continue into next year. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Kun Pattira, for your share of information.
Okay.
สวัสดีครับ
Bye.